talk about Confession Part 1. So Confession Part 1 is a Hava Media production. It was uploaded yesterday on YouTube, on Hava Media YouTube channel, Durojaiye YouTube channel. So if you've not yet seen it, I advise you all to go and see it before watching my review, so we can easily connect and you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So the short film Confession Part 1 features the story was written by Oladele, screenplayed by Titilayo Lawal, makeup artist on the set Paul Aremu, DOP Iyano Oluwadebayo, soundman Gabriel Yusuf, editor was Iyano Oluwadebayo, director Tolulope Shoneye. So the short film features cast like Durojaiye, who played Mr. Richard, Chuka Obi, who played the Holy Spirit, Owolabi Osho, who played passenger 1, Becky Olorunpomi played passenger 2, Okoyemi Akintunde played passenger 3, Fiyinfolu Sipi Okedare played the driver, and then Tolulope Shoneye, who voiced over as the newscaster. So before I finally read the short film, as usual, I'll be giving you a brief summary of the storyline of the short film. It tells the story of Mr. Richard, who understood the consequences of the words of our mouth. I mean, he's a kind of believer who understands the consequences of the words of our mouth, in the sense that he confessed positively before going out on a certain day. He confessed positively, I'm handsome, I'm blessed, that contract is mine. He said a lot of positive things. Not until he went into the vehicle, the cab, where he boarded a vehicle. He went up to the road to board a cab where he was going to seek for a contract. Not until he met some passengers in the car, and then he joined them in talking negatively concerning the nation. He cancelled what he said before, in the sense that angels were already set in motion to bless him according to his words in the morning, but he cancelled everything, he spoiled everything when he went into the vehicle and joined those passengers in talking negatively. That was explained to him later by the Holy Spirit, played by Chuka Obi. So that's all about the storyline of this short film. Very, very necessary, and the need of the hour important, in the sense that it's just the moral lesson here is teaching us that the words of your mouth as a child of God matter a lot. Many of us utter some things, and then at the end of the day we use the same mouth that we used to utter positively to cancel everything we uttered positively concerning our lives. So straight up to the things I love and things I did not like about Confession Part 1. Things I love about Confession Part 1 was it was brief, and then a powerful message, great message, and then it was comical. I mean, we had comic reliefs. It's not easy to bring in some comic reliefs into a very serious message. That was well executed. I mean, the scene where Becky Olorunpomi said those spoiling the country are those who are wearing suit and tie, and then the passenger sitting close to her was wearing suit and tie. I mean, he was shocked. I mean, that was funny, right? I laughed, so that was funny and brilliant. The drone shots, establishing shots were very beautiful and necessary, and then the cutaway shots was brilliant, was good and necessary. I mean, with the scene where Okoyemi Akintunde stole the phone, picked the phone, I mean, it was very necessary they showed me that. If they didn't show me that, I wouldn't have known. So the cutaway was very necessary. Cinematography, beautiful. Sound, beautiful. I heard everything. Fiyinfolu Sipi Okedare tried. He did well, in the sense that he was playing the role of this kind of a worry intonation driver, and he stayed in that intonation from the beginning to the end. I was kind of listening to him to be sure to see if he was going to deviate from that intonation, but he was able to hold it. He was able to keep that intonation from the beginning to the end. So I give him kudos for that. Acting by all the cast were great. They did a brilliant job. Straight up to the things I did not like about Confession Part 1. The story was a kind of unrealistic, in the sense that Mr. Richard confessed too positively. The way he confessed, he went too far positively for them to tell me that that same person will go back and say all those negative things. I mean, he said the contract is already mine. Devil, lay your hands off that contract. I mean, he took authority over the day, and it seemed he was a kind of strong believer. And then at the end of the day, he went and said, I know I will not get the job. I'm very sure I will not get the job. I'm just applying. I know I will not get the job. I mean, that is a kind of contradictory. It's not that realistic. I know it can happen. It can happen. I'm not disputing that fact, but I mean, it wasn't just unrealistic for me. It didn't really work well for me. They should have maybe made him not to go that far in confessing positively before going out that day, because he went too far for them to tell me that he will still come back and say all those things in the vehicle. Also, close-up shots were not taken in the taxi, in the vehicle. Close-up shots were not taken. It was just one take from the beginning to the end, and then you know, close-up shots helps us to see reactions and reactions on the faces of certain characters. It helps us to see close reactions. I mean, exclamations. I needed to see some exclamations and reactions of certain characters when they were shouting and when they were reacting to certain things said. I needed to see reactions on their faces, and then but close-up shots were not taken, so I could not see them, so I could not connect very well to the characters. It was just one take all through. I think close-up shots should have been taken. Also, Opeyemi Akintunde, who was the passenger and the driver, they were going out of the camera frame, in the sense that sometimes the camera was not able to capture all the actors on set. They were going out of the frame, in the sense that when she looked, she would go out of the camera. When the driver looked out, sometimes he went out of the camera frame. So I think that should have been taken care of. They shouldn't have been going out of the frame like that. I mean, the camera is supposed to capture everybody from the beginning to the end without any of them going out of the frame. Also, Opeyemi Akintunde was playing this kind of pidgin worry woman as well. But the only thing that could tell you that this is a worry woman, the only thing she said in her intonation was change. I mean, she should have tried better. In other words, she should have she should have spoke more worry intonation. Rather, she should have tried better than just using only one word for us to know that this is a worry woman. She said change, and that was all. Also, Finfolu CP Okedare, I think he was looking too decent for a Lagos driver. I mean, he was looking too decent. I mean, it's wrong for a film depiction. When you want to depict a character, I mean, you should present that character the way it should look. I mean, I think he was having powder on his face, his hair wasn't rough, the hair was well combed. I think he should have been looked rough than that. Seeing the fact that he's this kind of a rough man, from the way he spoke, you could tell that this is a rough and indecent man. I mean, so his hair should have also told us the same story. His costume should have also told us the same story. You understand? So they didn't really work on his costume and his hair. They should have made it rough than the way it looked. The last thing I did not like about Confession Part 1 was when Becky Olorunpami, who was a passenger, said those spoiling this country are those wearing suit and tie. I mean, it was funny. It was funny and okay to laugh. But I mean, it should have been those spoiling this country should be those wearing agbada and cap, not those wearing suit and tie. Looking at it from the part of the country where we come from, I mean, it's peculiar. The costume peculiar to those kind of people is agbada and cap, not suit and tie. So that didn't really, it was funny and I laughed, but at last I sat down and I thought about it. I was like, oh no, but those really doing all this bribery and corruption stuff, are those wearing agbada mostly and tie, all this rich and big men and stuff like that. So I thought about it and I finally thought that would have been better also for a film depiction rather than those wearing suit and tie. Ladies and gentlemen, those were the only things I did not like about Confession Part 1. I still think it's a brilliant one. Money was spent in this production. The producer did a brilliant job. He brought out the money and spent it. I mean, gospel films are going places. Gospel films are going places. The only problem I had with the technical aspect of this movie was where I said Opeyemi Akintunde and the driver went out of the frame, which was the cinematography, the fault of the cinematographer and the director. So that was the only problem. But the money was used and money was spent in this production. So I give the producer Durojaiye kudos for that. I cannot deny that fact. I mean, it's not easy. So that's all I'm able to gather for Confession Part 1. If you've not yet seen it, like I said earlier, go and see it. It's already uploaded. Thank you very much for watching this short film review. My name remains Oris Daniel, and before I forget my ratings, I'm rating this short film a 3.8 over 5. Yeah, so go and see it, and please kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get notification as soon as I upload new videos, and kindly share, like this video. Thank you very much for watching this movie review. Bye for now. I'll see you all later in the next one.